Hi, lovely. I've done a couple of short videos on boundaries recently. What they are, something a bit about boundaries with yourself. Boundaries with ourselves are important. And I promised I'd come back and talk through a little bit more in terms of the practical, the how-to. So I've got a bit of a five-stepper that I want to run through. And it's important because knowing what a boundary is, knowing that you want healthy boundaries, doesn't always mean that you're actually able to set them and hold them. They're two different things. And it comes up quite often, actually, here in the counselling room. People will so often say, I know I need better boundaries. I know I need to set some clear boundaries. I just don't quite know how to do it. So, having these sort of feelings that boundaries are hard, really normal. It can be very, very genuinely hard for lots of people. Particularly if you're a bit of a people pleaser. Boundaries for people pleasers is a whole, it's a whole topic in itself in a way. If you're the really busy person who does lots of things for lots of people, sometimes it's just easier to keep saying yes rather than, have to even think about it, rather than having the pushback. And it becomes kind of automatic as well. You just got used to absorbing other people's needs. And, you know, at some point saying no got a bad reaction. It felt unsafe. So you've just found that you don't set and hold boundaries. For us ADHDers, there's a little bit of an extra layer. Things like impulsivity. We just don't even think sometimes before we say yes to something. And time blindness, we genuinely don't realize that we don't have time to do the thing that we've been asked to do and that we might even be enthusiastic about. So not about willpower, it's a skill. It's a skill that we don't necessarily have, may not have been modeled for us. And the good part of that, of course, is because boundaries are a skill, it means we can learn them and they get easier with practice the more we sort of work through the five steps. Before I jump into those, two kind of quick reminders, which I know I mentioned in the short videos as well, but boundary, it's about your behavior, it's about our own behavior, not in any way about controlling somebody else's. Sometimes pushback will include things like stop trying to control me. Boundaries are about what we will do. We can set expectations, ask other people. The boundary is about our response, what we're going to do. So you communicate it, but you can't enforce it on another person. You can only hold up your end of it. We set the boundary of what we will do in response to somebody else's behavior. And as I mentioned before, we also can have boundaries with ourselves, which I did a short video on. So the five steps I want to talk through. The first one is basically notice. It's pause and notice. What is it you're feeling? Where is it you're getting that sense of resentment where you feel your energy being drained? You'll come away from something going, oh, I should have said no. Where do you feel it? What is it you notice? Is it a tightness? Is it a heaviness? Is it that slightly queasy feeling? Tension when you see before you answer a call from somebody that you don't want to? Basically, this stage one is looking for those patterns, noticing the people, the situations, when the times that it keeps happening, and you're like, oh, yeah, there's something not quite right here. And we're looking for one or two, not fixing everything at once. There are actually two different ways to approach this, depending really on how conflict avoidant you are, perhaps. Pick the one or two things that will make the most difference to you. If one of those things is like just too big, pick something smaller and get the practice. Step two, what is it? Get clear on the boundary. What actually is the boundary? What is it that you will do? What is it that you won't do? And being specific. And I talk about the boundary I have with myself about, having a getting to bed earlier. And just saying getting to bed earlier, that's not really a boundary. That's a bit vague. My boundary is that I have a reminder that goes off at 10:30 each night, and that's like that's bedtime. The 10:30 reminder is the boundary. Oh, now it's time for bed. If you sort of say, "Oh, I wish they'd stop calling me," they call and call and call. That's not a boundary. There's no kind of action in that. I won't answer calls if it doesn't suit me. That's the boundary. The clearer you are with yourself, the easier it is for you to hold, and it then becomes easier to communicate. Which step three is communication. Decide if you need to communicate the boundary. My boundary with myself around sleep time, I don't need to communicate that to anybody. If you're going to set a boundary for yourself in terms of screen time or Tim Tams or anything, it's up to you if you need to communicate it. You don't necessarily need to. Where another person is involved, you do need to communicate the boundary and be clear about it. So, sticking with the phone example, if you have somebody who phones a lot, who keeps calling and keeps calling, keeps calling until you pick up, and you're generally picking up in frustration, tell them, communicate it. I'm not always able to answer right away. If I'm not answering your call, leave a message and I'll get back to you when I can. If I don't pick up, it just means it doesn't suit me. You don't need to keep calling, leave a message, I'll get back to you. Even what I just said maybe is almost too big an explanation. Keep it simpler the better. Just, I'm not always able to pick up. I'll call you back when it suits me. Step four, the bit that people will often find the hardest. Sometimes step three is the hardest, the communicating part. Step four, holding the boundary. So let's say you've said to another person, I'll pick up when it suits me. There's no point in you calling. Leave a message. I will get back to you. Then you need to hold it. Don't pick up. Don't be there rolling your eyes and going, oh, it's them again. Just don't pick up if it doesn't suit you. You don't need to explain why it didn't suit you. You don't need to over apologize. Just, yep, didn't suit me earlier. It suits me now. Hi, what's up? You'll have to restate the boundaries sometimes. You'll get some pushback sometimes. And that's okay. That's part of the process because people get used to us behaving in a certain way. People may not even recognize that they're being disrespectful, as it were, or that they are, people might not realize that we are frustrated or irritated or don't have time if we haven't communicated it. So you may well have to repeat. And again, you can only control your response, not theirs. Keep repeating until it becomes a habit. This is pretty much step five. Boundaries are habits, and it can feel tricky at first. It can feel hard at first. That discomfort is normal. You're doing something new. If it's a boundary you're holding with other people, they're experiencing something new. So yeah, it can be tricky. As with any habit, the more you do it, the more automatic it becomes. The more you hold the boundary, the more automatic it becomes. So really keen, I guess, for you to give it a go. Give it a try, work through the five steps, review and adjust as needed. If you do start in something small, then working up to something bigger. And each time the moment comes, each time the call comes or the impulse hits of it's sleep time to hit another episode, work out, hang on, remind yourself, what was this about? What was the choice here in terms of doing what works better for me, what helps me be the who and how I want to be? And it gets easier over time. I guess in closing, I just want to, a couple of well-held boundaries in key areas in your life can make a really big difference. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And back to, it's not about you being difficult or trying to control other people. It's about you working on what works for you and keeping that boundary around your energy. Boundaries can be really helpful in relationships and they kind of set, some tone that people know where they are with boundaries. So if this is something that you've been working on, you're getting stuck, or you'd like some help on, please do get in touch. I'm a counsellor based in Brisbane. This is some of the stuff I love working on. And I'll probably talk in another episode about work boundaries because I didn't really touch on that here. And of course, that's somewhere else that comes up. So uh, let me know if that's something you'd like to hear about or any other topic. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.